Then Indian rivers and their classification. So we know there are different types of different rivers are there throughout India. So how they are, these Indian rivers are classified. Indian rivers and their classification. Indian rivers, which are broadly classified into two types: Himalayan rivers and non-Himalayan rivers. These are the two types of rivers. The Himalayan rivers, Himalayan rivers, these are the rivers which takes off from Himalayas. In Himalaya uh, mountainous regions, from where the flow of the water will occur. These rivers takes off from the Himalayas. The flow through alluvial plains, flow from the Himalayan regions to the flow through alluvial plains. So the origin is from mountainous regions, from the Himalayas. The water will flow from the Himalayas, uh, from the hilly areas in the, Himalaya, where there is a source of the river, and it will flow through alluvial plains in plain regions. So these rivers they derive their water from rains during monsoon season and in winter. In winter and monsoon season, the flow of water will be the flow of the water in the river will be more. There will be the rise in the water level in the monsoon and winter season. And in summer season, there is a melting of the snow in the river. Snow gets melts in the summer season. The water level may decrease. So therefore, this type of Himalayan rivers, which are perennial and can give dependable yields throughout the year, these are perennial rivers. So during the flow of the water, they carry huge sediment. So through this, through the river, during the flow of the water through river, it carries the sediment. So these are the two reasons. First reason is the Himalayan rocks are soft and friable. Therefore, it carries the huge sediment during the flow of the water. And the source of the river is in Himalayan zone, particularly in the northeastern part. So that may susceptible to earthquake disturbances causing landslides, increased rock sediment, due to which there may be the increase in the sediment load. So what are the important Himalayan rivers कुठले आहेत? So Indus River, Jhelum River, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, Satluj, Ganga, Gandak, Ghaggar, Gomti, Kosi, Brahmaputra. These are the various Himalayan rivers. हे Himalayan rivers आहेत. समजलं Himalayan rivers कुठले आहेत? So due to heavy rainfall in the month of July and August, causing about 3/4 of the average annual rainfall, these North Indian rivers rise in the high floods. So in the month of July and August, the average annual rainfall is the heavy rainfall. The rainfall will occur that may cause about 3/4 of the average annual rainfall. So in this month, there will be rise in high floods. Surface runoffs that caused are usually much more than the normal average flow of the entire year. In this month, the surface runoff is more. Flood discharge may great as 50 to 100 times the normal winter flow. Flood discharge also more, which is 50 to 100 times the normal winter flow. The sections required for passing flood discharges are vastly out of proportion to the sections required for normal winter flows. In case of floods, the section of the that rivers, the proportion is more. So this large variation in the discharge and sediment load make the hydraulics of these rivers very complex, and that may cause them to meander. So due to heavy sediment load, when sediment load increases, so that may create meander, that may cause the river to meandering form होते meandering river. Non-Himalayan rivers. What are the non-Himalayan rivers? So Himalayan rivers are perennial rivers, and non-Himalayan rivers are the non-perennial rivers. These are non-perennial rivers. So this type of rivers, they receive their major water supply only in the rainy season. The major water supply जे rainy season में पाण्याची पातळी वाढते. The runoff will be more in rainy season, and in summer season the runoff will be less. So from the other than this monsoon season or rainy season, the rest of the year, the water may be drawn from the groundwater as base flow. In summer season, the water is drawn from the ground surface, groundwater. So this type of rivers, they flow in central and south India and take off from Aravalli, Vindh and Satpura mountainous regions. So this type of non-Himalayan rivers flow in the central and south India. So this rivers takes off the water from the Aravalli mountain, Vindhya mountains and Satpura mountainous ranges. तर त्यामध्ये कुठले एक्झाम्पल्स काय नॉन हिमालयन रिव्हर्सचे? त्यामध्ये चंबळ आहे, महानदी आहे, कावेरी आहे, गोदावरी, ताप्ती, नर्मदा. These are the important examples of the non-Himalayan rivers. So these rivers are much more stable than the Himalayan rivers, and they pose lesser problems, and they flow through the non-alluvial soils. This is the difference between non-Himalayan rivers and Himalayan rivers. Some of the difference, Himalayan rivers and non-Himalayan rivers. And dividing line between the Himalayan and non-Himalayan rivers. त्यामध्ये dividing line कुठले आहे? Himalayan rivers and non-Himalayan rivers. That is the boundary hedged by the left bank of the river Satluj, right bank of the river Yamuna and Ganga after Allahabad, and left bank of the river Brahmaputra. That can be seen in the map of the Indian rivers. तर त्यामध्ये हे दोन्ही कसे डिवाइड केलेले आहेत, हिमालयन रिव्हर्स अँड नॉन हिमालयन. It is two types of rivers which is divided, that is shown the boundary hedged by the left bank of the river Satluj, left bank, Satluj river, and right bank of the Yamuna river's right bank, Yamuna and Ganga rivers, right bank of the Yamuna and Ganga river, and left bank of the river Brahmaputra. So in this, these are the dividing lines which these two Himalayan and non-Himalayan rivers are divided. So this rivers can observe in the map of the Indian rivers. You can observe, you can see in the Indian rivers map. So these are the types of rivers. आतापर्यंत आपण काय पाहिलं, classification of the rivers in Indian rivers and their classification. Similarly, classification of the rivers. Any difficulty in this? समजलं का सर्वांना? समजलं नसेल तर विचारा. This is the classification of rivers. And the meanders or meandering rivers. This is a meandering river. त्यात आपण पाहिलंय. Clockwise bend, anti-clockwise bend, concave bank and convex bank. This is a meandering river. What is the concept of this meandering river? So it is meanders. When once a river deviates from its axial path and a curvature is developed during the flow of the water, the erosion will occur. So it will deviate from its axial path. So that may deviate, the curvature may be developed either due to its own characteristics or due to impressed external forces. The process moves the downstream of the river by building up shoals on the convex side by means of secondary currents. By means of secondary currents, it builds up the shoals on the convex side. So this formation of the shoals on the convex side results in the further shifting of the outer bank by erosion on the concave side. ये क्या होता है? During the flow of the water, erosion will occur. That outer bank is shifted to another side, concave side. From convex side, it will shifted to concave side. In this way, the flow will occur from concave side to convex side, from convex side to concave side. It forms the shoals on the both sides of the river. It forms a meander. क्या कहते हैं? Meandering river. The formation of successive bends. Bends are formed. There is bend. Clockwise bend is this is clockwise bend. This is anti-clockwise bend. Again, it will become clockwise. Again, anti-clockwise. This is concave side. This is convex side. Again, it is concave side and convex side. Convex side. The formation of successive bends of the reverse order that may lead to the formation of the complete S curve. S curve form होते हैं. See this diagram. Then the clockwise bend इथून S, परत anti-clockwise bend ला तो turn होते हैं. परत पुढे clockwise bend form होते हैं. In this way, the shape of this river it will be like a S curve. S curve ये shape में यहाँ river form होते हैं. जैसे ये shape. म्हणून त्या कर्वला काय म्हणायचं आहे? Meander. meander which is formed by the uh, due to successive bends, formation of successive bends of reverse order that may lead to the formation of complete S curve. याला म्हणायचं meander. When the consecutive curves of reverse order connected with the short straight reaches called crossing are developed in a river reach, then that river is said to be meandering river. हे जे दो consecutive curves आहेत, curves in reverse order which is connected with the short straight reaches crossing, straight reaches ला connect केलेले. These two curves are connected with the short straight reaches. Therefore, this type of river is called meandering river. So these two types of curve is connected with the short straight reach. Short straight reach ने connect केलेला. And it forms the meandering river or meander. Meanders are formed. Another meandering river. Therefore, in order to study the behavior of the meandering river, the river may be supposed to follow a sine curve. Meandering river से study करने से पहले behavior कैसे है, characteristics क्या है. So you have to suppose to that river is supposed to follow a sine curve. Sine curve to follow करा दो. You study that to study the meandering river, the behavior of the meandering river. The river may be supposed to follow a sine curve. It is a curve like sine curve. Okay. The concept of meandering river. What is meandering river? Is a definition exam la vichar sakta. Explain meandering river. In that you have to draw this diagram and you have to explain the definition of the meandering river. Samala meandering river. Any difficulty in this? And the control and training of the river. What is the river training work? How control is made in this river? River training in its wider aspects covers all those engineering works. River training works, they are called river training works, which are constructed on a river. So to control the flow of the water through river and to confine the flow of the river, or to guide the flow of the river, there is a river training works which are constructed, river training works on the rivers to control and regulate the flow of the water in the river bed, so that there may be safe and effective disposal of the flood and sediment loads. During flow of the water carries huge sediment loads. So in case of floods also, in flood situations, so to ensure the safety and effective disposal of the flood in case of flood situation, there should be proper control on the flow of the water. So therefore, stabilizing and training the river along a certain alignment with suitable waterway. This is one of the most this is the first aim of the river training work. to stabilize the river or to control the flow of the water in the river, so that the, the safety will be ensured in case of flood situation. It will easily dispose that floods in case of flood situation. So that can be controlled by the construction of the proper river training works. तर त्याला काय म्हणायचं रिव्हर ट्रेनिंग. रिव्हर ट्रेनिंग म्हणजे काय? ट्रेनिंग ऑफ द रिव्हर, द फ्लो ऑफ द वॉटर, that the training of the river or stabilizing the river, so that it can ensure the safety and effective disposal of the flood and sediment flow. Objectives of the river training काय आहे? River training works may serve the following objectives. It has various advantages. The river training कशासाठी करायचं? The first objective काय? To prevent the river from changing its course and to avoid the outflanking of the structures like bridges, weirs and aqueducts. So river से जो course है or flow of the water, flow of the river channel, so it should not change its course. The alignment should be proper, so will take in proper direction to prevent river from changing its course, alignment, to avoid the outflanking of the structures, or to avoid the failure of these structures which are built across the river like bridges, weirs, dams, barrages, aqueducts, or any cross drainage work, canal. So it should avoid outflanking of the structure. This is one of the objectives. Second objective is to prevent flooding of the surrounding countries by providing a safe passage for the flood water without overflowing the bank in case of floods. So during flow of water, in case of tide, changing the water level, so floods during floods, it may affect the surrounding areas of the river. The areas come under flood. The areas will be affected by the flood. So to prevent from the flood situation, these river training works are developed. Third objective is to protect the river banks by deflecting the river away from the attacked bank. The river banks are protected, banks of the river, by deflecting the river away from the attacked bank. River deflect केले जिथे the banks which are affected, that river banks are protected. Fourth one is to ensure effective disposal of the sediment load. During the flow of the water, river, it carries the sediment load. So that sediment load should be effectively disposed. If it is not deposited, then sedimentation will occur. Fifth objective is to provide minimum water depth required for navigation. Navigation साठी, shipping साठी, so to maintain the minimum water depth. These are the objectives of the river training work. Some of the objectives, advantages of river training. And then classification of the river training. Classification of the river training. Depending upon the purpose of river training program which is to be undertaken, that is divided into three categories. यामध्ये river training works मध्ये depending upon the purpose they are classified into these three types. यामध्ये high water training आहे, or it is called training for discharge. Second one is low water training, or it is called training for depth. Third one is mean water training, or it is called training for sediment. The discharge flow of the water river. The training of the for the discharge through river that is done. त्याला काय म्हणायचं? High water training. The depth of the water, that is training of the depth of the water in the river. त्याला काय म्हणतो? Low water training. Training for sediment. Depth of the water carries the sediment load. So the sediment load to deposit that sediment properly. The training for sediment is done. त्याला काय म्हणायचं? Mean water training. These are the three types of river training work. High water training, low water training, and mean water training. What is called training for discharge, training for depth, and training for sediment. High water training म्हणजे काय? Training for discharge. Discharge कसं control करायचं? High water training is undertaken with the primary purpose of flood control. Flood control करण्यासाठी हे high water training is undertaken. This is the primary objective of this high water training is to control the flood control करण्यासाठी. Discharge is control. It therefore aims at providing sufficient river cross section for the safe passage of maximum flood. In case of flood, that flood is controlled. So by providing the sufficient river cross section, so this maximum flood in case of flood situation, so it may affect to the areas adjoining to the river. So in this case, the river cross section is sufficiently provided so that there may be safe passage for the maximum flood. And the adjoining areas of the river that is made flood proof by construction of the dikes or levees. So adjoining areas of the river, that areas are made flood proof by construction of the dikes constructed or levees are constructed so that the areas will not be affected by the flood. To make the areas of the adjoining to the river that are made flood proof by the construction of these dikes and levees. Levees and dikes are constructed. So in this way, the training for the rivers is given. Training for discharge. Discharge is control. Flood control is done. The purpose of high water training is to control. Second kind, low water training or training for depth. So यामध्ये low water training is undertaken with the primary purpose of providing sufficient water depth. So in case of navigation for the shipping purpose, sufficient water depth is provided to carry out the shipping activities. So this water depth, so during low water periods, when there is in summer season, when there is the water level decreases, the sufficient water depth is provided. So this water depth is maintained, or which is accomplished by the concentrating and enhancing the flow in the desired channel by closing the other channels. the flow in the other channel is closed and depth of water is increased. So that depth of water which is increased by the process of handling by contracting the width of the channel with the help of groins. With the help of that groins, the flow of water is increased. This is called low water training or training for depth, to maintain the sufficient depth in the river for the navigation purpose. म्हणून त्याला काय म्हणायचं? ट्रेनिंग फॉर डेप्थ, or it is called low water training. समजलं high water training and low water training. Third one is mean water training or training for sediment. So in this, the primary purpose is to efficiently or effectively dispose of the sediment load or suspended load and bed load, so as to preserve the channel, river channel in good shape. When sediment load वाढत गेलं तर काय होईल? The shape of that river bed will change. So to maintain that cross section of the river channel, the sediment load should be effectively disposed of. So the maximum accretion capacity of the river occurs in the vicinity of mean water or dominant discharge. The sediment deposition will occur in the vicinity of the mean water or dominant discharge. So changes in the river bed that are attempted in accordance with that stage of flood flow. So during flood flow, there may be changes in the river bed. The used sediment is deposited at the bed of the river. So this is the mean water training, in which proper training for the sediment is done. So effective disposal of the sediment load, suspended load, and that bed load, so that river channel is preserved. The shape of that river channel is maintained. So the mean water training is called training for sediment. The other three types of river training work. First river training work is high water training or training for discharge. Second one is low water training or training for depth. Third one is mean water training or training for sediment. समजपर्यंत the river training work. This is the classification of river training. समजलं river training work म्हणजे काय? So this is the first part, rivers and river training work. इथपर्यंत आपण पाहिलंय. समजलं का? रिवर ट्रेनिंग वर्क काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे काय मध्ये? प्लीज आस्क. Any problem in this? So this is the first part of this 7th unit, river training works, that you have seen. काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे का यामध्ये? समजलं का रिव्हर ट्रेनिंग वर्क, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ द रिव्हर्स अँड रिव्हर ट्रेनिंग वर्क्स. त्यामध्ये क्लासिफिकेशन, एक्झामला क्लासिफिकेशन विचारू शकतात, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ द रिव्हर्स अँड classification of the river training works, objectives of the river training, and classification of the river training works. Any difficulty in this? समजलं का सगळ्यांना? So after 1 minute, this session will close. Again, you have to rejoin with the same link. Then we will start the second part of this unit, water logging. Second part is water logging. Everyone join again with same link.